everybody, my name is Sabine and welcome to Wild Encounters here at the BC Wildlife Park. This park is home to many orphaned and injured wildlife that unfortunately was not able to be released back out, which means that they all have a special story as to how they came here. Here at the BC Wildlife Park, our motto is conservation through education. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys about my two favorite animals we have here at the park. So let's go head out and check our first one out. Here we have Quilla. Quilla is a North American porcupine, and she was born in 2006 at the Storybook Gardens in London, Ontario. Before we dive into North American porcupines, I just want to talk about them in general. So let's break down that term porcupine. It comes from two Latin words, one being porcus, which means pig, and the other one being spina, which means thorns. Porcupines are mammals and are further classified as rodents because they have a pair of continuously growing incisors, both on their upper as well as their lower jaws. In general, there are two types of porcupines. There are New World porcupines and Old World porcupines. New World porcupines just have single quills that are mixed in with furs and hairs, where Old World porcupines, their quills are in clusters. Here at the BC Wildlife Park, we have two New World North American porcupines. We have Quilla here with me, and we also have Miss Pricklesworth. So let's go head on over to Miss Prickles and check her out. Here we have Miss Prickles. As you can see, she's much smaller than Quilla. Miss Prickles is believed to be born in early of 2021. She was brought in by a member of the public to our Fawcett Family Wildlife Health Center in October of 2021. We believe she was hit by a vehicle because she was missing a large patch of quills on her back and she had no mobility in her left hind leg. That mobility loss is believed to be due to nerve damage. And with the help of Kamloops Veterinary Clinic as well as the awesome staff here at the BC Wildlife Park, there was a combination of laser therapy as well as physiotherapy used with Miss Prickles in hopes that she would gain her mobility back. After multiple treatments, there was an improvement in her hind leg mobility. However, she did not get that full function yet, but every day she is improving and she is getting better. Let's start off by talking about their physical characteristics. Porcupines are the second largest rodents in North America, with that first spot going to beavers. They can weigh up to 40 pounds and can grow up to 3 feet long. Their coloring often ranges from a dark brown to a black color with white or pale yellow highlights. They have blunt round heads and stocky short bodies, and that makes them not the quickest movers in the animal kingdom. Their top speed is about 3.5 kilometers an hour. When we take a closer look at Miss Pricklesworth, you can see she has underfur, which helps keep her warm, guard hairs, which help keep her dry, keeps that moisture out, as well as quills used for protection. North American porcupines have roughly 30,000 quills that are 10 centimeters in length. These quills are hollow, and at the base of each quill there are these muscles that allow for the quills to stick up when the porcupine is excited or alarmed. These quills are loosely attached to their skin. At the tip of one quill, there's roughly 700 to 800 barbs that act similar to fishhooks. These barbs will hook and stick into the skin of their predators, and when the predator pulls away, those quills will come with them. Similar to animal fur, and just like human hair, their quills shed and get replaced by new ones. So you might be thinking, do they ever accidentally prick themselves? And the answer is yes, and actually quite often. But they have a special antibiotic layer that is around each quill, so when they do fall off and they do accidentally step on them or fall on them and they get pricked by those quills, that antibiotic layer will prevent any infections. The lifespan of North American porcupines is about 10 to 15 in the wild, and in human care they can live about 25 years. North American porcupines inhabit much of North America, from the Arctic Ocean down to northern Mexico. They're found in a variety of climates and a variety of elevation. Here in Canada, these guys are found in coniferous or mixed forest habitats as well as grasslands. They will make their dens in tree nests, rock crevices, or in logs, and if there's no denning area available on the ground, they'll often be up in the trees, and they have really long, curved claws that help them climb. Let's take a look at the behaviors of North American porcupines. North American porcupines are usually shy and solitary animals, with the exception of during mating season when they're with a mate or when they're with a sibling. These guys are also nocturnal, which means that they're active at night and sleeping and resting during the day. Since they live in northern areas where it can get quite cold during the winter, you might think that these guys hibernate, when in fact they don't. Instead, what they do is they'll sleep in their dens and they'll just walk around close by their dens, but they don't actually hibernate. And one reason why they're able to withstand such cold temperatures is because of their guard hairs and their quills. They act as insulation layers to them. And also when they are out and about, they're really slow movers, and during this winter time they slow down even more, so they don't move too much, and they also burn a lot of fat. You might think that because these porcupines have quills located all over their body, that they won't have any predators. However, they do. Some of these predators include wolverines, fishers, wolves, eagles, great horned owls, and bobcats. Often these predators will try and attack the face of the porcupine or the underside of the belly because those are the two areas where there are no quills. A major misconception is that porcupines can shoot their quills, when in fact they actually can't. When they shake, those quills might drop out, but it doesn't happen at a speed fast enough where it can pierce the skin of the predators. Instead, what happens is when the predator tries to grab, eat, or just touch the porcupine, those quills will get stuck in their skin, and when the predator pulls out, those quills will come with it. Porcupines in general are highly vocal animals. Their vocalizations range from teeth chattering to shrieks and grunts. When porcupines are threatened, what they'll do is they will chatter their teeth and produce a chemical odor which will ward off predators. If that doesn't work, what they'll do is they'll turn their backs to the predators, raise their quills, and move their tail around. Let's look into the reproduction of North American porcupines. Males become sexually mature at 2.5 years, and females become sexually mature at 2 years. During the breeding time, which happens between October and November, multiple males will compete for one female. This competition often happens in trees, and the males will violently bite each other or use their quills as weapons to try and win. After mating, the gestation period is about 210 days. Oftentimes they will have one baby, or sometimes they'll even have two, and those babies are called porcupets. When they're born, the porcupets have very soft, flexible quills. This just makes it easier and less painful for the mom during birth. After a few days, those quills will harden. The babies stay on the ground for the first 6 weeks of their life, and after it reaching 2 months old, it will move off and live on its own. North American porcupines are generally herbivores. In the warmer months, they'll eat roots, leaves, flowers, fruits, nuts, seeds, and sometimes they'll even eat insects. When porcupines eat leaves, especially further into the growing season, a certain chemical reaction happens in their digestive system, which causes a depletion in sodium. This depletion is also seen in other animals like white-tailed deer as well as moose. And it's really important for these guys to maintain a 1-to-1 ratio of potassium to sodium. That's why often porcupines seek out salt, and they'll be found eating the siding of houses, licking the roadways after a winter full of salt spray. In the wintertime, their diet is very limited. They'll only eat evergreen needles or inner bark from trees. During these cold months, porcupines can lose 15 to 30% of its full body weight. Porcupines are able to forage on low nitrogen, high fiber foods because they have a really special digestive system. Their food in their digestive tract stays for 38 hours, which is much longer than most animals. And having that food stay in their digestive system for that long allows for all the digestive enzymes and microbes to break down those fibers and create energy for these guys. Here at the BC Wildlife Park, Miss Prickles and Quilla's diet consists of romaine lettuce, broccoli, rodent block, peanuts, leafy eater biscuits, strawberries, apples, sweet potatoes, and carrots, and many more other delicious treats. Let's look at their conservation status. So these guys are listed globally as a species of least concern. However, they are often hunted by humans because of their destructive behavior. So when we look at their destructive behavior and we look at those their diet specifically, those salt cravings that they have will often lead to them seeking out where there's a lot of salt residues. So on vehicles, on the sidings of houses, and even hand tools that we use when we're sweating, they'll often destroy those. Another way that they can be quite destructive is also in the timber industry. when they're eating inner bark as well as roots. It can often lead to killing the trees and stunting their growth, or just making the trees not look so pretty, which unfortunately makes them not the best for selling. With all that negative talk aside, porcupines are actually really important in their ecosystems because they provide a positive impact. When they walk around and they're shifting the soil and foraging around, it actually helps promote new growth for new bulbs and also endangered species as well, which helps maintain biodiversity. Training the animals at the BC Wildlife Park to do certain movements is very important so the animal care staff can check the health of the animal. Quilla has a routine that she does where she moves around her enclosure with Larissa. This routine encourages mobility for Quilla and allows for Larissa to see if there's any issues going on with Quilla that might be a health issue. Has also been trained to go onto a scale so the animal care team can monitor her weight. Larissa's also worked with Quilla to trim her back nails and is currently working with Quilla to get more comfortable and to allow Larissa to start trimming her front nails. Since Miss Prickles is new to the BC Wildlife Park, the animal care staff has been working with Miss Prickles on target training. The animal care staff is able to move the target around in various ways, which Miss Prickles will follow and boop with her nose. This allows for the animal care staff to move Miss Prickles around and give her a good thorough check of her body. And if any medical exams need to be done, Miss Prickles will be comfortable with that routine. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you learned lots about these incredible animals. We only just scratched the surface about porcupines. If you ever want to learn more about these porcupines or any other animals here at the BC Wildlife Park, you should come on down and chat to our friendly education or animal care staff. You can also head on over to our website, bcwildlife.org, or check us out on all our other social medias for more educational information or regular updates on our resident animals we have here. Thanks again for learning with Quilla, Miss Pricklesworth, and I today. Goodbye, and we hope to see you soon at the BC Wildlife Park.